Going on to you, Scorpio. So you have the Hanged Man, the Nine of Cups, Four of Wands, the Empress, the Seven of Wands, Ace of Wands, the Tower, the King of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Queen of Wands. So y'all are Scorpios. You got the Tower, which is Scorpio. So you did most definitely show up in your own reading. A lot of Scorpio influence. So the Hanged Man, the Nine of Cups. Even when people try to scapegoat you while you're being in relationships, and people try to convince you, Scorpios, that you're not enough and that without them you're nothing, the Nine of Cups, you Scorpios are not listening to that, because a lot of you know better. You know better than to listen to someone who's going to go out of their way to be your enemy, to be adversarial to you. You know that. So the fact that or you should know that for the new people coming here, but you also understand, or you should understand, that this is not the last the last relationship that you'll ever have. There'll be more people in the future who you talk to, right? So if you were dealing with someone from the past, right, or the present that you just stopped talking to, they may have talked some smack to you about how you Scorpios will never find anybody better than them, but you're already on the verge of actually finding people better than them. You just have to take some time to heal, cool off, because you don't want to bring this type of hardened mentality in with you when it comes to meeting a new person, right? Because that could be potentially the one for you, or one that is good for you, that fits for you, and you end up ruining that due to you may have brought this mentality of not trusting people because of what happened the last time. So the Four of Wands now represents, right, you understand that the relationship between you and people with clean slates. And I'm glad that a lot of you Scorpios are really starting to wake up about this. Like, you're not going to bring this baggage in with you. It's whatever it is that you've experienced in the past, you have learned the lessons. You're going through the process right now of learning the lessons and what is to be learned, and how you can use that now in the future for the rest of your life without having to hold on to the grudges and the emotional and the sentimentality of it. So the Four of Wands represents what it is that you're trying to build with other people, or another person, a loved one, a romantic interest, which is a real family, real relationship, a loving one that is fruitful, okay? And love exists, it does, but most people are not using that power, which is great, because that means more power for me and more power for y'all once you've learned to tap into it. Now, the Empress and the Seven of Wands now represents, the Empress is about also too learning how to actually be beautiful while in a relationship, as opposed to like scaring people off with not wanting to open up, share your world. A lot of you Scorpios are actually learning how to share that and how to trust. And don't worry about if it is that, you know, things don't necessarily work out with you. As long as you're still walking around safely, if you catch my drift, you're good. There's always a chance for you to come back from this and do better. Really, truthfully. And don't worry about people using the information to betray you and run roughshod over you and run game. You're thinking about all the wrong stuff, Scorpio. What you should be thinking about, and what a lot of you have learned to think about, is think about the potential good that comes from this. You open up, talk to people, you let them know some things about you, and people are like, okay, cool. And you would be surprised at how some of them may actually open up to you too. So then you have the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands represents, but it is a process for a lot of you Scorpios. Obviously, you Scorpios are not the most open a zodiac sign. A lot of you Scorpios, you're finding it difficult to be open. You, Virgo, Capricorn, y'all are not very open zodiac signs, okay? And to be honest with you, all of the zodiac signs are closed to some degree, but just in varying degrees. With you Scorpios, very much so closed, the way you used to be. That's not how it is that you are now. A lot of you Scorpios, growing up, you're realizing that you have to emotionally mature and that you don't have to be so scared, stuff like this. When I talk to people, whether or not they do that type of stuff, it hurts in the moment, but I know that in essence, I'm going to move forward. I know that I am. It's not I'm tripping about it because I know what's honestly important to me. So I don't waste my time. So the thing about it is that the Seven of Wands, for you Scorpios, you have to understand what's important to you too. If you want love, real relationship, you're starting to get that love and that self-acceptance through your own emotional maturity by understanding that, number one, regardless of what type of games people play, they're never really going to succeed. So the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is that you'll be able to see most things, most of the games that people play, and you'll understand how petty it is. The Tower now represents, and not only that too, but you'll be able to let things be exactly what they need to be. See, like I said before, there's a reason why you Scorpios exist, an important reason, because Scorpio, y'all are the zodiac sign that represents endings. Forget about, if relationships, this is what I'm trying to get you Scorpios to understand, to open up your mind and understand it for what it is, yo. Are people winning when they betray you? If your heart is in the right place and you're being honest with your intentions, you really said what you was going to do and then you've done it. No, people, they don't prosper when they do stuff like that. But this is the thing. What I'm trying to say is a lot of you Scorpios' mind was bogged down before about all this stuff about in the past, about how things may have happened to you in the past. Forget about all that stuff. You're Scorpios for a reason, learning how to let things end that needs to be end. If a relationship is not meant to be, then don't try to force it to be, as I keep saying. And that a lot of you are learning from this, but a lot of you are learning slowly, because a lot of you are fixed signs, Scorpios, you're intense, you're having a hard time letting go of this mentality, but you're letting go of it slowly and you're seeing the benefits. The King of Pentacles and the Moon, what are some of the benefits? Some of you Scorpios are starting to see the benefit of it because now you can get to know other people without having to have so much excessive baggage that is attached to you, right? So for instance, you meet somebody, the two of you don't work out. Guess what? You're not worried about if the two of you don't work out. You're looking at the lessons that you should have learned, what you did well, what you could have did better. If this person was playing games, what type of games they was running, how to overcome those games if they were playing anything, or become more emotionally intelligent. What is it that people say and what they don't say, which is what about you needs to be, you need to satisfy or learn to let them satisfy it on their own self-nourishment, right? Or self-nourish. And then the Queen of Wands now represents, of course, a lot of people are going to try to blame it on you, but this is why it is that you don't let them. So let's clarify the King of Pentacles. Okay, so as far as what's to come, right? The Sun, Judgment, Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords, right? The Sun, learning how not to be so pressed or taking it personally when things don't work out between you and someone else. Judgment, your judgment is starting to become better. You will be able to walk away from dysfunctional relationships or would-be dysfunctional relationships way faster than it would take you normally, right? Where you invested so much time and energy and you end up getting heartbroken. Ace of Swords and the Eight of Swords understanding when people want to be dysfunctional and why and when you're not supposed to put too much energy into them.